Tournament of Champions at the end of the year.
Cannot believe that already April is here, and we are into the Tournament of Champions 1 week from today with 2 North Shore bowlers going head-to-head today.
Let's meet our final 2 contestants. Which one will win this ladder series and advance to the tournament beginning next week? First, our number 2 seed, last week's winner by a score of 405 to 335 over Mike Yao, Mark Gregory from Beverly, Massachusetts.
He had 405 last week, just barely above his average of 134. His high single 192, best triple is 505. He bowls at Metro Bowl in Peabody and Park Place in Windham.
And he rolled a 687 in the roll-off to earn the number 2 seed, and it earned him the right to take on the top seed for the championship. Let's meet from Peabody, Massachusetts, Bobby Bettencourt.
Been a couple of years for Mr. Bettencourt, coming in an average of 126. High single is 200 even. Best triple 475. He also bowls at Metro Bowl Peabody and Sunnyside Lanes in Danvers.
And Bobby rolled a 689 in the roll-off to earn the number 1 seed. Today we crown a champion. Let's come back for this afternoon's match between Mark Gregory and Bobby Bettencourt right after this. We began with 5 of the finest Candlepin bowlers in the world in this ladder series. First week we saw Chris Capozzi defeat Mike Morgan. Then it was Mike Yao over Chris Capozzi. And Mark Gregory defeats Mike Yao, setting up this match between Mark Gregory and Bobby Bettencourt here for the ladder championship at Leda Lanes, and we're ready to go. It'll be Mark Gregory first to bowl here at Leda Lanes. He'll start on lane 34, and we are underway.
Held that one a little bit long and lobbed it, but it was a legal lob.
It was a legal lob, and he got a pretty good break out of it.
Sure did.
Going into the second pocket, and he has the 1-3, and then the 8-pin behind, the 9-pin behind the 3-pin. And he threw it again past the head pin. Happy to welcome the New England Ford dealers to our family of sponsors on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Great to have them with us. We appreciate their support and hope to have them with us for many years to come. The New England Ford dealers now part of our Candlepin Stars and Strikes family.
Love that new retro Mustang from the mid-60s.
What color would you like?
I would like to have maybe a maroon one. I don't know if I'm making them in maroon or not. Remember our family's first car when I was just a kid in the 50s was a 47 maroon Ford. Potted that one right up the middle.
We were one of the few families that had a Kaiser and a Fraser.
No way.
Yeah.
And you still drive a Pacer, which I think is pretty sexy.
It's part of my personality.
Chick magnet, no doubt about it.
17 through 2 from Mark Gregory, and now Bobby Bettencourt, the number 1 seed in this ladder.
Bright set of red bowling balls to match the red polo shirt that he's wearing today.
Bobby's been on our show 9 times in the past. Starts off with a spare. Bobby's a sergeant with the Danvers Police Department. He and Jennifer have a son, Bobby Jr., 2.5, a daughter, Alexa, 1.5. Baseball's in his blood. Played A-ball in the Yankees organization for a year. His brother was a coach. He has a nephew who now plays basketball for Bucknell. And as we speak, Holy Cross and Bucknell are playing. By the time you watch this, they will have played for the Patriot League championship game in Worcester. And we'll have the results when Bob Foraker joins us for the Tournament of Champions next year, because Bob will be broadcasting that game. We'll have broadcasted by the Bob Foraker from Bay State bowling fame.
How'd you arrange that one?
I have connections.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to bring Chris Schenklin next year. What do you think about that?
Oh, Mark almost made the great shot. Chris Schenkel must be 90.
Good old Indiana boy. What a great announcer, huh?
We grew up watching him as kids when he was doing giant games on TV, back before the old American Football League ever came into being. The Giants were New England's team, and Chris Schenkel used to do the games.
Now, of course, growing up in Detroit, I didn't know that, and just watching him as bowling commentator.
Oh, sure.
Of course, he was known for much more than that. He was very good at it.
Very versatile.
Yes. Well, we're going to check to see if that is a pin beyond the deadwood line, and I'm going to guess that it is.
It looks to me like it probably is.
Usually once it's out of the light, that's pretty much it, and it is. In fact, I think it's rolling very, very slowly.
Still coming?
I think so. Now he's waiting to see if it's going to roll back. Once it stops and you can take it, but if it's still moving, you make sure it isn't going to go back into fair play.
So the pin is removed.
Wouldn't have been a factor, but you do have to, by the rules, take it out.
Mark is right on that spare.
His first mark. Bobby Bettencourt's only 2 boxes have both been marks.
Nice and easy, Bobby. Head stick down. Nice and easy. In the groove.
Been 3 years since we've had Bobby Bettencourt on our show. He was on mixed doubles back in January of '02. #1 seed with Deb Regan. Defeated Sean McKinley and Janet Parks, so he was a champion with Deb Regan that day.
Stay right there. Give it a look, Bobby. Give it a look.
Tried to bounce the wood off the wall, couldn't do it. $9.
Just tell he has a lot of natural athletic ability. Just a very fluid motion, very natural. As evidenced by his years in baseball minor leagues.
Good first ball and a strike. The winner gets $1,500. The loser gets $1,000. So it's a good payday for both bowlers, but the winner gets the opportunity to advance to the Tournament of Champions beginning next week. 3 marks and 4 boxes for Bobby Bettencourt. Mark Gregory just off the head pin.
Of course, the top prize in that, Dick, is $2,000. Runner-up is $1,100. We begin it all next week. We don't know who the bowlers are yet. Well, I tell you who one of them might be.
Oh, there's a great spare from Mark Gregory. They don't come any prettier than that.
Great shot. Great shot.
Just a great shot from Mark. Watch it again. Right on the head pin. Played the outside of the head pin and got great action on the pins and the spare.
One of the bowlers
done.
next week will be Craig Holbrook. I can tell you that. He's the low seed right now. Possibly.
347.
Yes, possibly Hugh Ferguson if our winner today is above 360.
Oh, he just picked the pin off the 10. Picked the 6 off the 10. In a 10 box. Well, Bobby Bettencourt has had a red-hot start. Did you mention Bobby's last time on TV?
I did just a moment ago in the mixed doubles when he won with Deb Regan as his partner.
Oh, he got the spare.
Just enough.
He's out to a fast start over Mark Gregory, who's got 2 marks. Bobby has 4.
Looking for some bonus money right here. Good first ball right on the head pin. Oh, the wood's not in a good spot.
This is not good wood.
He'd like it to move a little bit more. Bounce it off the wall. Oh, what a great shot. Played the top of the wood. $50 in bonus money.
And
Played
probably
the top of the wood.
close to a 30-pin lead through 6 frames. He is throwing with so much confidence today.
Mark Gregory on lane 34. That's a good first ball for Mark. There goes 9 and the double wood. Well, the wood in the back seems to be not a factor. It's to the right of the pin, and I don't think it is going to get in the way. I think the wood out front is the key, and he should have a clean shot at the pin. And he made the shot. Got an email here from Tony Marie Baldinelli Lopes.
9 of 10.
A name familiar to Candlepin bowling fans. Hello, Dick and Mike. I realize it's been a long time, but being out of the bowling circuit, I miss it a lot. I do watch your show as much as time allows. And as always, you both do a great job. Keep up the good work. I do have a concern. A few weeks back, it was mentioned, we talked about bowling with 2 balls. Not many people did this, and the ones that did, it must have been a bad habit. Well, if either of you remember my dad, Hall of Fame member Tony Baldinelli, he was the best in his time, king of the Candlepin world for many years, and Dad always bowled with 2 balls. Not that it was a bad habit, because my dad had no bad habits. This was a comfort level for him, balance and coordination that made him the champ he was. Dad was co-owner of Baldinelli's Bowlaway in Amesbury for 34 years. My dad was also the first person on the Channel 5 show to throw a triple strike. He won the $1,000, but always joked they still owed him $50 for 3 marks in a row.
Oh, right.
As you may or may not know, my dad passed away May 18th, 2004 from an aortic aneurysm. He was a great guy, very much loved and respected by all, and is surely missed. Thanks for your time, and luck to both of you for the next Rock and Bowl. Remember how that started. Also, I think happy birthdays are in order for you both. If my memory serves correct, Mike and I both had birthdays late in February. So, Tony Marie, you are correct, and thank you very much for that, from remembering that. We do appreciate that. But everybody remembers Tony Baldinelli is one of the great Candlepin bowlers of all time.
Yes, and I have been reminded by a number of other people in the last several months that we talked about that, Dick, about the late Tony Baldinelli. So I'm glad that she wrote to remind us. Worth mentioning, and we send our condolences for your father. Your loss here about a year ago. I bowled at Baldinelli's a number of times and always liked it there. Just barely missed the object pin to the right.
$10 for Bobby. 22-pin lead for Bobby Bettencourt over Mark Gregory. 2 boxes remaining in the first string. It's a 3-string match. Mark Gregory right on the head pin, and there they go. I thought when the ball left his hand, it was going to be a great shot, but then the pins were very slow to fall. And it was the 7 and the 8, the last 2 to go. 4th mark of the string for Mark Gregory. Good first ball there.
And because it's a 10th frame, he'll get to throw another ball instead of having to sit down and wait.
We have been here before with Mark Gregory.
$600, Dick.
$600 in the triple strike jackpot. He hit it in November for 7, had a shot at it last week for $575 and missed. This is a $700 shot from Mark Gregory. $600 shot from Mark Gregory. You watch.
Oh, no.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. Doesn't come any closer than that, does it?
Boy, he put the afterburners on, and look what kind of game he's got here after all.
145 first string for Mark Gregory after Bobby Bettencourt started out with 4 marks in the first 5 frames, 5 in the first 6. He's got a scramble now.
Needs a mark to win this game.
And he starts with a half Worcester. How quickly the momentum shifted. That was $50 in bonus money, by the way, from Mark Gregory. 2 strikes and a spare. Close out. That's a nice 10 box. That's a great 10 box.
Needs a mark at 8, though, to beat Mark Gregory after having a pretty substantial lead for most of the match.
That's a good first ball right on the head pin. Can he break up the split? No, he cannot. and that wood out front is no help.
Yeah, if it were angled a little bit more, it might be helpful. He'll use it anyway. Look at that!
I guess it was a help. It moved to the right far enough to be
apparently did
beneficial to him. When I first made the comment that it wasn't going to help him, it was right in front of the 3-pin, but it slid off to the side a little bit, and he made the spare. Great spare. And now the fill. An 8. And a 146 for Bobby Bettencourt to Mark Gregory's 145. A 1-pin lead for Bettencourt after 1. What bowling you are watching in this ladder championship match as we continue from Leader Lanes in Nashua. You're watching Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Bobby Bettencourt will bowl first in the second string. He has a 1-pin lead over Mark Gregory after 1. 146 to 145. What great bowling you saw in that first string. That one got away from him. A lot of wood out there to help out. This is very makeable. Hitting the head pin is key right here.
He did, but not at the right angle.
Got a note here from Connie Blunda of Gloucester, Massachusetts. Connie sent us a couple of photos of a friend of hers who she thought looked like a regular in our audience. Unfortunately, I don't think the person is here today, so I wasn't able to match him up. But Candlepin bowling is one of the few reasons that Connie's glad to be back in New England. Although she hasn't bowled for some time, it provides more of a workout than 10-pin. One gets a lot more exercise, even though those 12 and 15-pound balls are very heavy in 10-pin bowling. That's for sure. Keep up the good work. Connie Blunda, Gloucester, Massachusetts. Thank you, Connie, for writing in.
Oh, look at this.
Imagine if he hit it. No, it's a...
Woman does not look familiar to me, Dick.
Nor to me.
Pair of 9s for Bobby Bettencourt.
I brought it out into the crowd between matches to see if anybody could match it up, and nobody had a recollection.
It's the only TV show where the audience members get as much mail as we do, or questions about them.
Well, some of them have been coming for so long.
Well, yeah,
they're so recognizable.
They used to go to the old Channel 5 show, so they are more familiar than we are to a lot of the viewers. And they talk less than we do, too.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I know. I like to talk a lot just to drive people crazy.
And it does. We get letters to that effect.
So keep sending them because we'll talk more.
A 10 for Mark Gregory.
And we know where you live, by the way.
Way to grind out the 10, brother.
Match is dead even through the first box in game number 2. Everything but the 2-pin.
You know, you pointed out something. Bobby Bettencourt has a 126 average. Mark Gregory comes in with a 134 average. And you pointed it out doing the math. 134 average is a 400 triple. It's averaging a 400 triple. That's incredible.
So a 405 is,
yeah, just run of the mill. The lead belongs to Gregory by a pin right now. Will it go? Is there enough pressure on that 10-pin to force it over? There are some pieces of wood. There's double wood and then a piece of wood against the 10-pin. And he got it. Well, another 2-ball letter here, Mike.
Oh.
Dick and Mike, you wanted to know if anyone still bowls with a ball in each hand. The answer is yes. Her name is Avis Miner. She bowls in my Tuesday AM League at Fun Spot in Laconia, New Hampshire.
Oh, my.
That's the Lawton's place up in Laconia. Bob Lawton and Sandra and the crew up there. Avis was taught that way ever since she was 17 years old in Boston at the Huntington Lanes and has never changed her style of bowling. That's from Barbara Heiligman. Barbara lives in Meredith, New Hampshire.
Well, that makes it official, Dick. We have now heard from everybody who bowls with 2 balls at one time. So that should be the end of the discussion,
And
I
it's
hope.
not a bad habit.
No, it's not. There's the 4 horsemen right side for Mark Gregory. Got a pretty impressive resume, or as you pointed out, a nice hardware collection at home.
Oh, there's a good spare for Mark Gregory.
6 WCBC Pro titles, 5 Massachusetts state titles, 11 titles in New Hampshire, and ranked number 5 in the WCBC last year.
That was one of those oddities where the ball came out of the gutter and took out the 10-pin for Mark Gregory in that spare. Good first ball there.
Oh,
look at what he has to shoot at.
Terrible break.
He's got the 4, the 5, and the 7 without a piece of wood to help out. 4 and 5 are on the same plane, of course. Oh, look at that! How's that for a shot for Mark Gregory? Bobby Bettencourt asking him how he did that. We're going to take a break, and you'll get to see it again when we come back as Mark Gregory makes an almost impossible spare. As we go to the break, you're watching Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Those are future Candlepin bowling stars. As you look on your screen, you see the children of Bobby Bettencourt. As you see the daughter Alexa and son Bobby Jr., they're bowling down a few lanes to our left. And when we went to the break, you saw Mark Gregory make a great spare. Watch this shot again. The 4, 5, 7 with no wood, kicking the 7 off the wall into the 5-pin and the spare. And just a very, very impressive spare. And now we're ready to go back to the action with Bobby Bettencourt on lane 34. Good first ball for Bobby. He almost had the same shot in reverse somewhat. He's got the 5 and the 9. Candlepin Stars and Strikes presented by McMulkin Chevrolet, Nashua Mitsubishi, Nashua Hyundai, and McMulkin Cadillac. All in Nashua as Bettencourt makes the spare. And by Tri-State Megabucks and the games of the New Hampshire Lottery. Missed the head pin, just puts 3 in the mark. That hurts.
Bobby has 1 WCBC title on his resume, and he just takes out 1 more pin still with 6 left standing. Bobby Jr. and Alexa, as you just saw, enjoying a little bowling while Dad goes to work, working on their college funds or whatever the money will be earmarked for. A 9 to
That's
Bettencourt.
a good 9 box for Bobby right there. He was struggling in that box. Happy to take a 9.
Come on, Mike, ready, buddy. I know.
Well, that's a pretty good drop, considering that the ball got away from Mark Gregory. Leaves the 1, the 2, and the 7. Got a little wood there that he can work with, mix things up. So a 7 fill, and this is a $50 shot if you can make this for bonus money.
That's a nice shot. So Mark Gregory has certainly warmed up to the occasion, hasn't he? He fell behind early. He was behind 22 pins after 4 boxes in the first string. And now he's taking the lead. Not a great first ball, but he puts 7 in the mark.
7 another.
So 7s are wild. 3 7s in 3 spares consecutively. For Mark Gregory, he's got a 71 in the 5th frame.
Missed the head pin. Open frame in the 6th. And there's the mark. Oh, the 10 box rather. So the 18-pin lead belongs to Mark Gregory as we pass the halfway point of the match. Missed the head pin, did Bettencourt, but it swung around, got a lot of action on that.
I think that wood's pretty good, Dick.
Follow up, and he's got the 3-8. A lot of wood on the deck there. The 3-pin still stands.
All right, great 10.
I think he thought the wood was going to cover the 3-pin, but it didn't. It went by it. It has to take a 10 box. Again, missing the head pin, but look at this.
Almost a backdoor strike.
Backdoor action. The 1 and the 3 still stand. Piece of wood up against the 3-pin shouldn't be much of a factor. Shouldn't get in the way. Missed the head pin. So he misses the spare, and he's open in the 7th and 8th.
Big opportunity for Mark Gregory to lengthen his lead, which stands at 18 pins through completed boxes. And no marks for Bobby Bettencourt since the 5th.
Mark, a mailroom coordinator for the Automobile Insurers Bureau of Massachusetts.
That's no fun. 2-4-10. And some wood right in the middle of it all.
His dad is in the spectators row right behind where Mark bowls. Almost made the shot.
And Mama's standing back a little further close to where we are.
And 8 box.
Fun begins next week, the Tournament of Champions. The $2,000 first prize after 5 weeks. 6 bowlers in 5 weeks. And they're still falling.
Look at them go. Look at this. They still go. The 1 and the 3. Another backdoor opportunity. Bobby Bettencourt was not able to convert the 1-3 just a moment ago. Let's see if Mark Gregory can. Yes, he can. So Gregory takes advantage of the opportunity with the mark, his 4th mark of the string. He leads by 17 plus a ball. Bobby Bettencourt is in need of a mark. Right on the head pin.
That helped me.
2 full on the head pin. 6-10 on the right, 7 on the left. 3 pieces of wood sitting on the deck. 1 right in front of the 6 and 10, and 2 others in the middle of the lane. Look at this. Yes, he got it.
That's worth another look.
It rode all the way across the lane. Watch this again. That piece of wood rode over the top of the pins in the lane and kicked it out. Really interesting.
That was a better hit than that. 3, 4, 6, 7.
Just 6 in the spare. Got a shot at it. Nope, not quite fine enough. Open frame in the 10th. He is at 105. 106. Second string for Bobby Bettencourt. Mark Gregory now working on his lead. He leads by 17 plus a ball through completed boxes. Good first ball for Mark. 8 in the mark and a makeable spare.
Kind of would you like, covering both pins squarely.
Just keep it on the alley. That's the key. He did. Mark Gregory stands to take a pretty sizable lead into the 3rd string. That's off the head pin, but he gets a 6-pin fill with the 4 horsemen on the left side. He leads by 16 plus whatever he gets in this 10th frame. So it's 22 pins right now. Good shot. And the spare.
Okay, let's go. One more.
That was a terrific spare shot for Mark Gregory. The 4 horsemen on the left side. He puts 7 in the mark and finishes with a 140 second string and a 2-string total of 285 and a 33-pin lead over Bobby Bettencourt. Headed to string number 3 when we come back to Leda Lanes in Nashua for Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Mark Gregory will bowl first in string number 3, and he takes a 33-pin lead with him over Bobby Bettencourt as we head down the home stretch. The winner advancing to the Tournament of Champions.
Hey, run it down again.
Well, there's a 4 horsemen again. Mark made that shot except in reverse on the right side this time. Rather on the left. This time it's on the right. 1, 3, 6, and 10.
Headed to the outside and will not make the shot. Kevin LaFawn's our director today. Keith Webb, our engineer. Kristen Doobie, Larry Haber, Tanya Perry, our camera crew. Chuck Lothrop's on replay. Rich Burke's on audio. And Kristen Doobie's handling graphics as well. They all make it possible for you to watch the finest Candlepin bowlers in the world week in and week out right here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. 10 bucks for Mark Gregory to start. Go ahead, Mike.
Kate Nichols is our official scorer in-house here for the gallery and for the bowlers. That's not good wood. It certainly is makeable, but we'd like to see it angled a little bit differently. Yeah, I think he hit it close to where he wanted to. Capped it. 5-pin went, the 8-pin stayed. It's a pair of 10s for Mark Gregory to begin the 3rd and final game.
And Bobby Bettencourt with work to do, trailing by 33 coming in, has an opening here with the 2 opens put on the board by Mark Gregory.
He knew it when he threw it away, turned around, turned out to be a half Worcester left side.
He turned around before the ball ever hit the pin.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good shot right there.
Oh, man. That's got to get you pumped up.
Converting the half Worcester right to the outside of the head pin, just like you want to do it. He buries it. 5-pin last to go. That's a good first ball, and look at that. Boy, right in the 1-2 pocket on the Brooklyn side with his fading ball, and
it's got a backspin.
Yep. He will be open in the second frame, so he picks up 6 pins.
If he makes this.
If he makes this, and he does. So he's picked up 6 pins in 2 boxes. The lead is 27, with 8 boxes remaining.
Of course, not only winning is important, but a high score helps in the seeding of the 6 bowlers that we'll start to see next week. Nobody's going to touch Chris Sargent. He'll be number 1 at 497, but everything else is up for grabs.
Mark will be open for the 3rd box in a row. He had a 145 in the first string, a 140 in the second string, so he's got potential for a pretty high triple. But he's 0 for 3 thus far. 3 open frames.
Leaves the door open for Bobby Bettencourt.
Moving over to lane 33. Bounced it down a little bit. Tough shot coming here. The 3-6 on the right, the 4-7 on the left. That wood behind the 6 pin does not appear to be a factor. He gave it a good shot.
Nice hit. Grab the sticks. Nice hit.
And a 10 box for Mark Gregory, but open frames leave the door open for Bobby Bettencourt.
Listen up, Bobby. Listen up and far.
Okay, be ready, kid. Big pin.
Missed the head pin. Tough shot here. The 1, 2, 7, 9, 10. Wood behind the 2 pin in front of the 9. Gave it a good run, but he'll be open in the 3rd frame. Not able to take advantage, at least not yet. And a 9 box. Matching 9s in the 3rd frame.
Well, he makes the game look so effortless. He just has so much natural ability.
Good first ball there. 8-pin drop, spare opportunity. The 3 and the 5. Picked the 3-pin right off the 5. An open frame. Not able to take advantage of the opens that Mark Gregory put on the board. Another 10 box. The lead stays at 27 for Mark Gregory as we go to the break. 6 boxes remain. We're headed down the home stretch when we continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua. Mark Gregory has a 27-pin lead over Bobby Bettencourt. 6 boxes remain. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin from Leda Lanes in Nashua. The championship match in our 6th and final ladder series of the year. After today, we will have our 6 bowlers in the Tournament of Champions, which begins next week.
Pretty good head pin hit, and look at that. 3 of the back row and the 5-pin. And no wood.
He made a couple of strange spares earlier. He's pulled a couple of shots out of the hat, but not this time. This is 5 open frames in a row for Mark Gregory to start the 3rd string. And that's going to be an 8 box.
Only 1 mark between these 2 fine North Shore professional Candlepin bowlers in this 3rd and final game. Both are limping to the finish line. Mark Gregory still enough distance, though, ahead of Bobby Bettencourt.
That one got away from Mark. That's a half Worcester on the left side. So Mark having trouble finding the head pin. It's amazing. We've talked about it so many times, how you have it, you get the momentum, you get on in a groove, you can't miss, then all of a sudden, boom, you lose it, and you can't put the ball in the ocean. Right through the opening.
Wow.
Right through the opening.
So I don't feel so bad when you and I get out once a year and bowl each other.
It happens.
And we throw the ball. We have no idea where it's going to go.
That's a heck of an 8 box for Mark Gregory right there. He's happy to take it. Now, can Bobby Bettencourt take advantage of the opening left by Mark Gregory? He needs at least 1 mark here.
He could knock the margin down to less than 10 pins with a couple of marks.
Here is a great first ball. The 7-pin stands surrounded by wood right in front of it. Just keep it on the lane. That's the key right here. And there's the mark for Bobby Bettencourt.
Relax, Barbie. Smooth ball. Come on,
Moving over to the left side, to lane 33, working on a spare. Good first ball right through the middle. Spread eagle, but the 10-pin fell down. So you've got the 3 and the 6 on the right, the 2, 4, 7 on the left.
Grab sticks, grab sticks.
Not really able to take advantage. An 8-box, and the margin is 20.
Wow. Anybody's game with 4 boxes to go. $1,500 first prize and a spot in next week's Tournament of Champions.
20-pin lead from Mark Gregory, 4 boxes remaining. Once again, we're happy to welcome the New England Ford dealers to our family of sponsors on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. And there's Mark Gregory breaking out of the slump with a beautiful strike in the 7th frame, and he needed it badly. The New England Ford dealers joining the Thompson family of dealerships in Nashua and Tri-State Megabucks in the New Hampshire Lottery as participating sponsors. If you would like to join the family, call 603-434-8850. And they'll be happy to help you out. Oh, a good pocket shot by Mark Gregory right there, and the solid 7-pin still stands.
And he is making a serious run here at closing Bobby Bettencourt out. That's not good wood, though, folks.
Nope, it's at a bad angle. Once again, the phone number 434-8850 for Candlepin Stars and Strikes, and tell them you want to become part of the family. That wood is tough. The angle is real rough. It's going right at the pin. Makes the shot.
Beautiful.
That's putting the pressure on Bobby Bettencourt. Now, Mark Gregory snapped out of it. He had gone 6 boxes in a row without a mark here in the 3rd string, but he breaks out of it with a double mark. And now Bobby Bettencourt responds with a strike. The strike is good for Bobby Bettencourt, but there'll be nothing he can do about it if Mark Gregory continues to mark. He needs another one right here. That's not going to get the head pin. It's going to be backdoor. Watch out. They're still falling. You got a spare opportunity here for Bobby Bettencourt, and he would have a double mark, and he will have a double mark. So he matches the 2 marks still on the board.
Still 20 pins.
20 pins with 2 boxes remaining.
So it isn't Miller time yet for either of these bowlers.
One more mark by Mark Gregory would just about put the kibosh to it. In the final 2 frames, working on a spare. Good first ball. Can he break up the split? Look at this. Well, the wood is there to help out.
Yeah, it's pretty good wood, I'd say.
You've got the 2, the 5, and the 10. That's a very strange threesome. Oh, he missed it. Look at this. The 5-pin still stands. What an unusual miss. The 5-pin still stands. 10 box. Here's Gregory's. Oh, a 10th frame strike, which should just about do it. Mark Gregory with a pressure strike in the 10th frame may have just closed the door on Bobby Bettencourt. Terrific shot by Gregory. He finishes with 3 marks in the final 4 frames, responding to the pressure, responding to the challenge. That's not a good first ball, but he's got one more ball to fill the strike. He will put 6 in the strike, and a 118 3rd string from Mark Gregory, and a 403 triple.
If that holds, he's in 2nd place in the Tournament of Champions if Bettencourt does not come back.
Well, Bettencourt, let's see, what's the margin here now? Bettencourt responds with a great first shot, leaving the 5-pin. He's right on the 5-pin. That's a $50 shot for Bob Bettencourt. He got $50 in bonus money, 3 marks in a row.
Still needs a couple of marks. Strikes.
He's a double strike.
That's right.
Missed the head pin. Oh, but they're still falling. Look at this. And a mark. That's another $25. But too little, too late.
They'll lose by.
The best he can do is come within 6.
That's right. What a great finish for both bowlers. They really poured it on the last 5 boxes.
A 1-pin fill at the end, and a 136 third string. A 15-pin win for Mark Gregory over Bobby Bettencourt, 403 to 388. Mark Gregory advances to the Tournament of Champions, and we'll come back to talk to our bowlers right after this when we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua with Candlepin Stars and Strikes.